The housing market is booming, and now two industry giants are facing legal action. Look who's here. Wendy Patrick joining us to discuss the lawsuit against Zillow and Trulia. Wendy, good morning.
Good morning, Shelley.
I am very familiar with the Zillow, especially in all the years it bought and sold homes. It was one of the places we leaned on in order to do that. What exactly are they being accused of doing?
Well, in a word, Shelley, favoritism. And you're not alone in relying on Zillow because this is one of the things that we have learned over the years is the easiest place to go, the quickest way to buy or to sell or to see what's on the market. You know, Shelley, you and I grew up where we drove around with our parents and we saw those open house signs and our
Yes.
folks said, hey, let's go take a look. Well, that's not quite the way people look for homes nowadays. They go to these websites. And when they do so, this antitrust suit basically says you can't see everything you used to be able to see. And the plaintiff, the one bringing the lawsuit, basically their complaint is you can't see us. So when you go to these websites, they're saying, show me the property. Show me everything that's available. There shouldn't be some properties that are favored, that are easy to find, and then others under this other listings category that are more difficult to find, that are concealed in a sense. And in a nutshell, that's the gist of this lawsuit. They've made it too hard to find certain kinds of companies.
This is a big deal for realtors who use these type of websites, among other ways, to be able to sell homes, right?
That's right. So, for example, Rex, who is suing, they are basically saying they have a digital technology that they use to market the home directly to consumers who are looking to buy, to sell, to manage the home. But the lawsuit is basically saying, no, it's much more difficult now because supposedly Trulia and Zillow, which basically are the same company now, they're favoring listing by brokers that belong to the National Association of Realtors. So if you don't belong to that organization, it's going to be much harder to find properties that you're buying and selling and that you're basically trying to manage. And that's problematic in a day and age where everybody relies on these types of websites to manage properties, to find new properties, to sell properties, to market them. I mean, I know people that's the only site that they use, and they were very much caught off guard when everything changed in January of this year. So people are watching this lawsuit because it impacts, potentially at least, so many consumers in the housing market.
So in order for you to list your home, if you're a real estate agent and you're trying to sell a house, you have to be part of that association in order to get eyes on the home through these websites?
And you phrase it beautifully, Shelley. Eyes on the homes. You can, if you know how to engage in different kinds of complicated workarounds, you can actually see other properties, but that's not what people do. They simply look at what's available. They look the fastest, the quickest. It's the same reason nobody takes the time to read the fine print that you and I learned in law school you have to do. So too here, if you're unaware about what's behind that other listings tab, or you don't see it, or you don't expect to see different things behind it, you won't click on it. You're going to do what's fastest and easiest, and you're going to miss out, according to lawsuits like this. Remember, antitrust laws are there because competition is seen as valuable, a good thing. We benefit from it, and companies certainly benefit from it as well. If you have a website setup that makes it anti-competitive, that makes it harder to see what's available, that's not good for marketers, and it's not good for consumers.
We watch this and we learn from one lawsuit, and then it applies to so many other different scenarios. How could this affect other industry? What other industries could be affected by this decision?
Oh, I would say any industry that uses website technology for marketing purposes. You know, we already know we've become masterful, especially over the course of the last year, given that many of us spent more time at home than we would have liked, but we were all over the internet. And so companies have really capitalized on the fact that we do everything on our devices nowadays. We buy and sell homes, we buy things off of Amazon, we sell things on eBay. So other companies might look to see what happens here as a measure of what can they get away with in terms of, can they favor other companies? Can they make other marketers easier to see, harder to see? And how do they lay out their website design so they too won't be accused of any kind of antitrust violation?
What do you think is going to happen?
Well, it'll be interesting to see if, in fact, it is that much harder to find, if there is that sort of competitive advantage, because remember, Trulia is denying that this is true. So there's two sides to this story, Shelley, and as it moves forward, I'm very interested in hearing the other side. You got to see all the evidence first.
Absolutely. Got to see it all before a decision is made. Wendy Patrick, always good to see you. Thank you.